Chapter 3. The New Bike. Eddie and his brothers got an allowance each week, 5 whole cents. But a nickel went further back in those days, and both Saturdays they would go to the 5 and dime store and spend their money on a bag of candy. The best deal was the gelatin orange slices with sugar coating. Once Eddie bought a Super Ball, a new invention that bounced like crazy. Another time he spent his birthday money on a shiny change purse. He'd had his eye on the little blonde girl in his class for some time and wanted to get her a present. Well, to be honest, he'd had his eye on 2 little blonde girls, and from one week to the next, he would take turns bringing them candy. He just couldn't make up his mind which one would receive the purse. Each afternoon before going home from school, Miss Cherry would dismiss the children, row by row, to go into the coat closet and gather their things. Eddie waited for his chance, and when he and one of the little blonde girls were both in the closet, he pulled out the gift he'd carefully wrapped, and he presented it to her. Her eyes got big, and she opened her mouth to shriek with delight. But Eddie quickly put his hand over her mouth and whispered fiercely, "Shh! This is our secret. You can't tell anybody. Not Miss Cherry, and especially not any of the other girls." When he dropped his hand, the little girl immediately ran out of the coat closet and straight to Miss Cherry's desk. Waving the gift over her head and looking around the room triumphantly, she declared, "Miss Cherry, look what little Eddie gave me." Little Eddie wanted to hide in the coat closet for the rest of his life. He made up his mind that he was through with women. He had a new plan. If he and his brothers diligently saved their nickels each week, they'd have enough to buy a bicycle in only 1 year. Eddie wasn't too worried about the fact that his little brother's legs weren't long enough to reach the pedals. They'd grow. To speed the process up, he and his brothers would walk along the side of the road and collect glass pop bottles. When they turned them in at the store, they were given a penny apiece. When birthdays rolled around, there was considerable pressure to donate birthday money to the bike fund. At long last, the boys collected $34.95, the full amount, and mailed a check off to the Sears Roebuck Company. The days dragged by like molasses until one day a large rectangular box was delivered to the front door. Their bike had come. With some help from their dad, the boys assembled their new bicycle. It was a thing of beauty, with glistening red paint and mirror-like chrome. The sprocket chain was lubed with an exotic-smelling oil. The rubber tires, their tread having never touched pavement, inspired awe. The boys rolled the bike out the door and onto the grass. At that moment it occurred to them. None of them knew how to ride a bike. But being the oldest, Eddie reasoned he should get the first chance. While his dad held the bike steady, Eddie climbed aboard and hollered, "Let her go!" His dad gave him a great push, and he sailed majestically across the yard for about 10 feet. Then his momentum ran out. The bike keeled over in a hydrangea bush. From somewhere deep underneath the foliage, little Eddie paused to give thanks that hydrangeas didn't have thorns. His brothers wandered over and peered into the bush. "Eddie, you okay?" Eddie didn't answer.